Hello, we are back with another episode of With Love. And this episode comes to you with love. This episode came to me with love. The idea, the experience, the healing all happened with and through love. And this was a really powerful and really beautiful healing experience and lesson that I received through this. So I wanted to share a bit of the lesson. I'll share the story in another episode, but I wanted to share the lesson because last night this kind of came to me as something that would be a good idea to share as an episode. So I am launching something that's called the embodiment process. It is a process, a 7-step process that allows you to experience the power, not the pain of your emotions. This essentially is a really beautiful somatic practice that allows you to get connected to your feelings. And it's also this experience of yourself as the source of everything. And so, in the process, what we are really noticing is that we are eliciting feelings without anything sort of happening around us. We're eliciting them with a memory, with a thought, and that memory or thought is bringing up the emotion in the body that we are going to work with, whether it's an emotion of, sadness, anger, fear, etc., or whether it's an emotion of love, joy, abundance, peace. We're really just creating the experience of that feeling emerging by using our mind, a memory, something that causes us to feel that way, essentially, but we are just basically thinking about it. And by thinking about it, we can bring up the feeling. And this idea really helps us understand that we are the source. We are the source of our emotions. Everything that is rising up from within you. Nothing is that you are feeling is being felt outside of yourself. So this is really important because, especially for the ladies or the men who are in love with somebody and the love is not reciprocated, or they have feelings for someone, but the feelings are not shared. Oftentimes, what we are doing, what really is keeping us stuck, is we believe that that person is the source of this feeling that I'm having. And in order for me to have this feeling, I need to have that person. And what was really a beautiful part of my healing in this experience was recognizing that what that person was actually doing was activating a feeling that was living inside of me. And if I was able to learn how to be with that feeling without needing that person to elicit it, to be the source of it, then I could actually claim that feeling as my own. This is really what allows us to feel empowered. It's like, yes, this thing outside of me is triggering, is eliciting, is bringing up a feeling inside of me, but essentially this feeling is living inside of me. So I get to be with it and do what I desire to do with it because essentially it is mine. I am the source of it. And so this is when it comes to love, when it comes to falling in love with somebody, and it's like this experience where they're not giving it back to you or you're not receiving back from them what you need. And then you're feeling like without them, you don't have this love. This is a really beautiful understanding that lets you come back to the love lives in you. You get to claim it. You get to access it. You get to receive it. You get to be with it. You get to expand it because it is yours. And so this knowledge and understanding really led me to um, claiming this love as mine, integrating it, and actually using it to heal myself in so many ways. I was able to elicit the feeling of love, bask in it, expand it, bring it to parts of me that needed to feel more love, really move this energy, this emotion, this essence around. And in this experience, which is what we experience in the embodiment process, you really become an embodiment of love. I am the embodiment of love. I don't actually need something outside of me to come into my life in order for me to feel love. I can elicit that feeling in my own body and receive it and claim it as my own. This is how we embody. We don't need something outside of us We are not outsourcing. We are not saying this thing is making me feel this way and I need this thing or this person or this place or this situation or circumstance in order to feel this way. We are really allowing ourselves to follow back the feeling and find that it is located inside of you. And as you do this, you are able to expand it, you are able to reclaim it, all of these things, you're able to embody it. This is very powerful for those kind of situations that I know we all have found ourselves in or find ourselves in where we really are feeling like the love is in that person and I just need that person in order to feel this love. And then without them, I can't feel this love. I feel pain, I feel loss, I feel longing, instead of recognizing that the source of the love is inside of me and I can access it at any point. I actually don't need this person to be the source of that for me. They actually are not the source of that for me. If anything, all they're doing is triggering what is living and what is accessible within you. This is an extremely powerful healing, and it also is something that takes self-love to a really authentic level. You know, I'm not just saying I love myself and doing these sort of self-love practices. I'm actually embodying love in myself and moving and bringing that essence of love to different parts of me. I really think that the importance of this understanding is an absolute game changer, because in terms of the amount or the lack of love that we have in our lives, it is really because we believe other things or people are the sources of our love. And because a lot of the times they don't necessarily always represent love well, we have been hurt by people that we've loved. We've been hurt by people that we thought loved us. And we've been hurt by people, you know, that we think that we love or that we think love us or that are supposed to love us. And so because we are assuming that they are the representation or the source of love, and if they bring pain or hurt into our lives, we start to sort of like disconnect from love. We start to like, you know, label love or judge love or give love a bad name because of how the person represented love or how that experience represented love. But what is really important for us to do, and in a similar way, is come back to love at its source, because love at its source is always going to feel like love. Love itself is never tainted by how somebody represented it. If you experience love through that person, then you're going to experience whatever their representation of love is. And it might not be a true representation of love. And so then we're like judging love based on how somebody represented it, not on what love actually represents. And so when we can come back to the source, we can come back to the true essence of a thing. We can come back to the true essence of love, how it really feels in your body, how it really makes you feel, how it heals, how it warms, how it expands, how it's empowering. We can actually come back to the felt experience of love and of a thing, and not the experience through somebody's misrepresentation of it. This is very important. It doesn't just apply to love. But love is very important because we need more love in this world. But because we have been experiencing it through representations of it and not through its actual essence, we have sort of devalued love. But love is extremely valuable, extremely necessary to heal, to connect, to bring joy, to bring life, to bring unity, to bring compassion. It literally is underneath authenticity. Love is the highest vibration. And so we actually need more love in our lives. We could see if we are lacking love, we are in fear, we are in guilt, we are in hate, we are in sort of this like disconnected experience of like me against you. We are in like work mode where we're like, fine, I'm just gonna like be a boss. I'm just gonna work. And like we're doing all of these things as if we're like not still wanting love. And so our experience of love at its source allows us to continue to have love in our lives, regardless of how somebody misrepresented that experience. This also applies to things like money, to things like spirituality, religion, God. Those things are also very important in our lives, and in their essences are absolutely pure. You come back to the source of spirituality and have your own experience of its essence, and it still remains loving, divine guidance. If you come back to money in its essence, it still remains a source of abundance that can, empower you in your life. But people have misrepresented spirituality, God, money. And so we are now judging those things based on how they have been misrepresented and not based on their actual essence, coming back to the actual source. It is so important for us to come back to the source of these things, because then we can weave the actual essence into our lives. We can weave money in as this abundant resource that allows me to play and support and expand and give and receive and expand my life, expand the lives of others. We can actually go back to the essence of money, and the source of what that essence is like, not how it's been misrepresented. We can go back to the essence of spirituality and God, not how it's been misrepresented. All of these things need to come back to into our lives as their true essence and not as a representation, because we can see they've been misrepresented. And so we use them or appreciate them, or a lack of appreciation for them based on the representation, not based on the actual essence of the thing. And so this is something that's really important to me, and it's really something that has come to me a lot in this healing, is coming back to the source and not experiencing it through the representation or the misrepresentation of it, because then things that are very significant to us living divine, aligned, higher, elevated lives like love and money and spirituality are now tainted or become tainted in how we see them. And so we don't get to weave them into our lives. So our lives end up dull and confusing and upsetting and frustrating and etc. But if we can come back to the essences and weave them back into our lives at their essence, then we can now see life from a perspective of meaning and purpose and aliveness and love and unity and connection that these, in their essence, represent. So, I just wanted to record a short episode on the importance of coming back to the source, the recognition that we are living through important elements like love and spirituality and money through their misrepresentation and not through their actual essence. And this is something that we all want to catch. We don't want to be now tainting love because someone misrepresented it. We don't want to now be tainting spirituality or God because someone misrepresented it. We don't want to now be tainting money because someone misrepresented it. Go back to the source of those things. Connect with the essence of money, the essence of God, the essence of love. What does that mean for you? What does that feel like when you feel into it, when you open into it? When you think about abundance, how does that make you feel? When you think about spirituality and oneness and something that is connecting and creating and loving us all, how does that make you feel? When you think about something that you love deeply, unconditionally in your life, what does that make you feel? Those are the essences that we want to continue to invite into our lives, and understand that when we connect to the essence and we can see, oh, I am the source of this. It doesn't need to be something that I outsource, that I wait for someone else to bring to me, to give to me. And if they don't, I don't have it. This is the thing with love too, that we really believe if I don't have somebody who is the representation of love or who is the source of love, then I don't have love. And we really need to understand that we are the source of love. Everything that is happening is eliciting feelings within you. And so when you are able to be like, oh, these feelings live inside of me, I am love, that is when the game really changes. So I hope that this makes sense. I hope this resonates. I would love to hear any feedback or thoughts, or, kind of what's coming to you as I'm saying this. But this is a really powerful learning, a really powerful lesson, not just to think about, but to really integrate, to really embody. And so if you do want to take it a step further, join the masterclass, the embodiment masterclass. You are going to learn how to elicit and be with emotions as you are the source of what is coming up for you. And you can create the feeling states that you want to create in your body, and you can experience them yourself without needing and waiting for something outside of you to come and do that and bring that to you. And then feeling like that thing is now my source. And, without it, I am lacking. We don't want that. We're done with that. Um, this is also powerful because just in terms of emotions, it goes back to that nobody can actually make you feel a way. Like, any feeling that's happening is rising up in you. So it is yours to be with, to manage, to understand, to release, to process, to heal. And it's a really powerful thing for you to realize that I am the source. What is rising up in me is for me. What is rising up in me is from me. And I am able to decide how I want to be in relationship with the things that are happening in my being. Enjoy your day.